All right, guys, so this will be the video that is the Worksheet 1.2 kind of help video. I'll explain what we need to do. So for this worksheet, you should have Worksheet 1.2 at the top, Foundations for Integrated Math, Unit 1, Worksheet 1.2. If you are not on that worksheet, you need to find this worksheet from your packet. This is the one that we will be completing for this lesson, okay? So you guys do not need to do all of the problems. I just want you guys to do all of numbers 1 through 5. So that means if you guys flip it over, if you look, there's a number 6 with some word problems. We're not going to do number 6. Okay, so I'm just going to cross that out completely. So you guys are only completing numbers 1 through 5, but you need to complete each part of numbers 1 through 5. Okay, so I'll kind of go through some of the different questions now. It says, show all work to receive full credit. And first, we're going to be simplifying the expressions by adding real numbers. So we're adding real numbers, okay? Adding real numbers. We're finding the sum of the two numbers that it gives us. So as you can see, 1a here, we have -3 plus 5. So what I'm going to do, I have -3. That's 3 negatives. So I'm going to draw 3 negatives. 1, 2, 3. Now I have a +5. I'm going to draw 5 little plus signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These two cancel out. Those two cancel out. These two cancel out. I'm left with two positive numbers, or two positives, so my answer is a +2. Okay, that is how you guys can do these. You can draw out your plus and minus signs. See, there are 3 minus signs because it's a -3. There are 5 plus signs because it's a +5. Cancel them out, and whatever you have left, that's your final answer. Okay, you can also put it in a calculator if you guys want to. All right. So moving on to number 2. So you guys will need to finish B through F. I already did A for you, but you need to finish B through F. Okay. So for number 2, we're simplifying the expressions by subtracting the real numbers. So we're finding the difference. In other words, we're subtracting. Okay. So for this first problem, we have 5 minus 3. Okay, 5 minus 3, that is 5 positives. Okay. 2 more, 4, 5. And we have 3 negatives. 1, 2, 3. We canceled them out. We are left with a +2, which is our final answer. Okay, so you guys can do it like that. For this one, though, there'd be 8 positives and there'd be 10 negatives. So any number that has the negative in front of it, that's how many negatives we have. Or you can put it in your calculator if you like, if you find that easier. Okay, so that was number 2A. We are just subtracting the numbers here. You need to finish B through F for number 2. Okay. Moving on to number 3. It says, look at the number line and use it to answer the following questions. So for A, it says if you were to start at 0 and added 3, what number would you land on? So we're starting at 0. We are adding 3. Anytime we are adding, we are going to the right on the number line, going to the right. So it's going to be positive. All right, so we're going to add 3. We go 1, 2, 3. What number did we land on? Looks like we landed on number 3. So that would be the answer to that question. Okay. So for number 3, you guys need to finish B and C. I already did A for you, but you need to finish B and C. Okay. So I'm going to flip it now. I'm going to flip it. We are now on number 4. It says simplify the expressions by adding or subtracting the absolute value numbers. Now we're on absolute value. Remember, absolute value is the distance from 0, and we cannot have a negative distance. So these will all come out to positive numbers. Okay. So I'll do C for you guys this time because it's a little bit more challenging. Okay. So here we have -3 minus 5. Okay, -3 minus 5. All right, so that's 3 negatives. 1, 2, 3, and 5 negatives. We have 5 negatives because that negative is in front of that 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we count up all of our negatives, that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if it wasn't absolute value, our answer would be -8. Okay, so this is -8. But since there's these bars around it, that means we're doing absolute value. We cannot have a negative number, so we change that to positive. So our final answer is a +8. Okay, our final answer is a positive 8. We cannot have a negative absolute value. So if your answer in between those two lines is a negative, change it to a positive because it's the distance from 0. Okay. So I did C for you guys. You guys need to do A and B on your own. For number 5, it says simplify the expression by adding or subtracting the real numbers. So now we're adding or subtracting. And we have 3 different numbers for each of these. So like I said before, we're going to move from left to right like we're reading a book. So if we were to look at A, actually I'll do F for you guys because it's the most challenging. So if we were to look at F, we have negative 8 plus 12. I'm not going to worry about that negative 5 yet. First, I'm going to do negative 8 plus 12. If we were to put that in a calculator, if we were to draw out 8 negatives and 12 positives, you would see that there are 4 more positives than negatives. So that is 4. Negative 8 plus 12 is 4. Then I'm going to bring down my minus sign and bring down my 5. So I have 4 minus 5. 4 minus 5, which is negative 1. Okay. So you guys need to do A through E on number 5. And then remember, we are not completing number 6. You are only doing numbers 1 through 5, the ones that I didn't do. Okay. If you guys have any additional questions, please ask them during our live Zooms when we are going over the homework. All right. I hope this helps. Thanks.